But yeah, if you go to the link on my bio, just anything you can do. Obviously, like being able to give money would be an amazing thing, but just to spread awareness, this is a really brilliant cause, and a lot of people are in desperate need of help. So, um, anything you can do would be. Da-da-da. Oh my God, we're on. And yes, you have. Is that Palo Santo or Sage?
Sage. I always start important events with Sage, you know?
Well done, sir. Educated me so much in so many things I wasn't educated enough about, or just, yeah, in so many different things. But this is a really important cause, and anything you guys can do, whether it's money, but also just awareness, please.
Um, I think we should start by kind of giving context.
Yeah. I tried to give a little
And
bit. Yeah.
oh, you go ahead. You give some context. What was he
And
saying?
I mean, you brought it to my attention. I wouldn't have known about it unless you did, which is, again, the wonderful thing about being able to connect with people, throughout countries and across continents. But I've never been to Goma. I've never been to the. Yeah, you can't even really imagine. But so, yeah.
It's because like I grew up in the UK. I was born in Barbados, but I grew up in the UK. And in the UK, we were told a lot about World War II and what was done in during the Holocaust. And
Mm.
what's happening now in Congo essentially is a Holocaust that we're not talking about because we benefit from it when we speak about being on social media and having social influence. We speak of a currency, but that currency has to be created using something physical, and that physical thing is minerals, and those minerals come from you know and value has surpassed oil in value, right? So now data is more important than oil, right? And oil is what powers the whole
Wait,
world and powers our whole.
how do you quantify that? Is in terms of Like
As
data,
in,
like how?
as in, as in the value of data per person to the amount that each person uses in oil has now gone up, like gone past in terms of value. So say if you were to say 200 gigabytes or whatever you would use, and then you were to say a barrel of oil, data has gone past it. Because if you look at what data is now and what tech industries are, essentially they're trying to get us to spend more time on devices so that they can then sell our time to third-party advertisers, right?
Yeah,
That's kind of what it's for.
that is an addiction because it becomes a thing where you basically create your own identity through a technology, like a device, which isn't, it's real because it's here, but it's not really the one thing that
Right,
all like the meaning of life to me, and obviously everyone has a different one, is connection. Is
right.
like
There's
and
there's a documentary by Adam Curtis that everybody can watch called Hypernormalization. And hypernormalization is to do with hyperreality. And this is where we're living right now.
yeah.
Living in the ether. We're not living here, we're living there, or there is here, right? Two things. Che is gonna write the link at the bottom, and so could you pin that? And then Anwar has requested, so let's bring Anwar.
Don't do lives very much. How do I do that?
Okay, so when you see his comment, he's gonna write it now when he hears this. It'll say Che Kothari. You just with a tick next to it, you just
And
pin it. I'll tell you when it. You
how much
just
time do you spend without a phone, if you do?
um, when I'm in Congo, a lot of because I had to learn Swahili so I can speak to them. So it's still difficult for me to be able to
To
be on my
engage.
phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, be
When
engaged.
when you're really like when you're truly the most happy when you're not on your phone. To it would like in situation in your surrounding, but like so like I for me my phone is a lot of my business. The more we get dependent, or the more this thing is giving us so much, but also making us lack in so many different ways. It's harder every day. I mean, we talk about addiction. We're all
Look,
addicts to technology, right? In some way, or the people that who
can,
are lucky have it. Lucky,
can you
yeah.
can you see my comment? Pin it. So
Oh,
click on the comment.
yes, I've got you. Pin it, guys.
You're in here. Um, so
Okay.
and click on the there'll be an icon that has like two smiley faces, I think. Click on that, and then Anwar will be in the
This
requested
is
list.
so much easier than I thought it would be. Okay, this is great. Cool.
So
But
Anwar,
it's so hi.
What's up? How's it going?
How you doing? Happy
Good.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Actually, was with Virgil in Paris, and like so
Long
much.
time ago.
But that was the last time I saw you. It was a long time ago.
Very true. Good
rest
to
in
see
What an incredible man, dude.
you. Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
Crazy.
is um it's interesting because when me and our houses.
Yeah.
So we were spending time with them every day. They don't know that we're going to build them a house. They just know that they've got friends. So like, even when we gave the houses to the people that we built the houses for, the first 4 people, we didn't tell them that we were going to give them houses. So we just said one day, all right, cool. Tomorrow meet us here, and then we'll give you a house. So
But
we
the
did.
most incredible thing, pure love, acceptance, gratitude, like just, I mean, again, it's,
Can, can you, he's saying, can you bring him again? He's requested again.
oh yeah, sorry. I
Maybe.
feel like I'm about to be 30 because I'm like, what am I doing? What is this? I always used to be so up with the tech, and I'm like, what is this?
Yo.
Sorry, I got disconnected. My bad.
Okay.
Okay. I was explaining how you were speaking to the kids. You were happy to meet the kids, and you were speaking to the kids down there.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear what you were. I only heard a little bit. Tail end.
I was basically saying how me and you were speaking every day while I was down there, and we were just trying to work out how best we could solve the problems, what was happening down there. And so that's how we've kind of got to this give to Goma, is we were just like, well, us and our friends can just give a little something for more people to care, and we can solve the problem. There is 25,000 people displaced. I aim with this like initial phase, I aim to build that we together can build 100 homes, and 100 homes is going to house nearly 1,000 people. An average family
Wait. How
is
much? Okay, sorry, I think my connection's bad.
100 homes will rehouse nearly 1,000 people, because an average family is anywhere between 6 to 10 people. So though the houses that will get built will be 2-bedroom houses with a living room or whatever, they'll probably make the living room
Safe enough, but giving people the gift of actually having proper, like, and also giving them the means to grow in so many ways. Because again, a tent in that kind of climate, it's hard, it's difficult to be able to give. Again, how many people have been displaced by this, again, natural occurrence, which, I grew up in England. I'd never had an earthquake, and Shaggy, like, I'd never seen an earthquake or a hurricane,
right,
tsunami, or any of these things. I mean,
right. Let alone a volcano.
a
They're all solar, and they have a water catchment system as well. So these houses, and what I'll do is I'll switch my phone back around while I find pictures of the inside.
more expensive out there to make it solar than it is not.
Well, the problem is where they live.
Yeah.
There's no electricity,
Yeah.
so the only power lines that there are go to the city, and only the city. So there's nothing in the rural area. So either you have solar or you don't have electricity. So it's just that. It's just that simple. It's not like there's like a bunch of power lines they're hooked up to be able to.
Solar expensive, or like in
Um.
terms of,
So
surely that's expensive than the actual house that you're building.
well, I mean, it's renewable. and that's stored power each day to power the house for each day. So as soon as it's set up, it's fine. But like to actually put a full solar system in a house, it's around $500 to $600. But the average annual salary there is $800 a year. So it's like, choose electricity, you're going to choose food, you know?
Like $800 a year is the annual salary when you look at the minimum wage in any other country. I mean, again, comparing it, I mean, it's important, but again, this kind of anything that anyone can do, whether it's spread awareness, anything is better.
Yeah.
Is
Every dollar counts.
every
Yeah.
dollar counts.
Chaka, I had a question for you, just to and like, you know, just to give some knowledge to whoever's watching as well. Like, I don't know if you talked about this already. I obviously am a little bit late, but how many people are being affected right now in the Congo by the earth? I mean, by the volcano.
Well,
25,000 people have been displaced. So
so
20
millions have been affected, though, right?
millions of people actually. So, like the kids in the camps. So there's levels, right? But the people in the camps are the worst affected because not only do they not have a farm, they don't have a house, they don't have electricity, they don't have sanitation, any amenity, they don't have healthcare, and they work all day farms growing potatoes and beans for like a dollar.
But not themselves, though. Generally, like it's their. I mean, oh no, sorry.
Well, before they had a farm and they had a house. Now they have a farm and they have no house. So they work on other people's farms that weren't burned down, but what they're selling is potatoes and beans that don't really fetch a lot of money. So on average, an average family survives on $2.50 a day there. So a whole family, $2.50 each day. And it's like backbreaking. Ever since, you know, she's been old enough to be able to carry stuff, she's been carrying these huge sacks of potatoes from the farm, like 5-6 miles every day, which has stunted her growth. Now we've put her in a house and she doesn't have to do that work anymore because she's helping us with the kids that we're going to build an orphanage for. So that's like one little thing that we've solved. But with 25,000 people displaced,
Get a picture of what one person's life is like, even though we can't actually even be there and really feel it. Imagine that in terms of that many people. I mean, a lot of worse off, or I mean, hopefully better, but either way, it's just not. It's not.
If I show you this, to give you some context. So this is the volcano here. There. And then that is the survivors camp. So nobody lived there before. So if I just zoom in a bit, you're going to see the volcano erupted, or everybody used to live here, right? And then their houses were destroyed, and now you can see they're all living in tents here.
So, like in terms of like education, in any what's happened there, either way.
And you, Cara, you have to eat every single day for the rest of your lives potatoes. There's no green juice. There's nothing. It's just potatoes, 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 and beans every single day. That's what these kids are getting. And their parents, like their mothers, are enough nutrients to be able to breastfeed them properly, like with proper nutrients. So the kids are really malnourished. It's horrible, man. And the thing is that in
Yeah, but
order
also,
to
not even like when you say potatoes, it's probably also the amount. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I love potatoes and I love beans, but also to the same point where like when there's a moment that I feel hungry,
Mhm.
I like again the type of environment where you need to have energy, you need to have sustenance in many different ways, especially for doing that amount of work, more than I've definitely ever done.
I think I think I think Jaden might be here. Um, I don't know if he's
How do
there.
you see
If
that?
he's there, and add him. I don't remember. Obviously, you, Cara, and you,
How do
Anwar.
you see that?
Um,
I'm
I
so
don't.
bad with
If he is here, Jadan.
stuff. Not
um,
not
Not enough. Sorry.
when
no, not at all. I think
when
from what we.
I was there and I was in the camps every day, I'm not going to say what they. I'm not going to say what they weren't doing, but I'm going to say when I was there, I didn't see them.
Yeah.
I was in the camps every single day, and I didn't really see them. That's just my personal experience. But we were in there every single day from 8 a.m. until it got dark every single day in different camps, and we didn't really see them. So I
Yeah.
don't particularly know them or particularly work with them. It's
No,
not my say what they are or they're not doing, but I didn't
yeah.
see them. I was there.
No, point is that also there's not much help going to these.
In a fight for food, basically. They're still happy and stuff, but just to give you some context or some idea, that's a camp there. That's one of the camps there. So people are living in these tents on lava rock floor. And as you can see, it's a big percentage of the population that's actually in a camp. If you look at the size of that compared to how many houses are there, a lot more people.
Volcanoes, but like I'm not actually at all well educated in terms of like what that is like. So when it erupts, like how obviously it's of course lava coming out of, but how long does it last for in terms of like obviously the danger? How many people probably don't?
Um, it takes about to actually cool down. It takes months to cool down. So I got there in September. It erupted in May. There was still lava that was still hot
How
and
far does
still.
it spread?
How far? What?
How far does it spread? Does that make sense? Like how far does it reach?
Miles, miles and miles and miles. Like it spread like 10 miles in every direction. So if you look there, there's more lava there than there is people living. So that's the camp there. Right? All of that is camp. And then as you can see, that's all lava there. So then this is the land that we've bought to build the until it's completely cooled down.
Right. That's
It takes, but then it takes years. You have to break through the lava rock to get back to the soil. So like all of this here, this is all lava rock, all of that. And you see it flows all the way down to the city. That's a big lava flow coming from the volcano. Now you can see how big the scale of it's such a vast scale, and it's kind of hard to quantify. Look, that's a lava flow there, and then that's where people have moved to. They didn't originally live there.
Can I have a question? So, like, when we reach the goal of 1 million, what will that do? Like, what can that do? As in, that can do a lot. But if you could give everyone
So
like, yeah,
US, and all in, well, with the paint, it's about $8,400.
one house like said 8, then a family of 8 or 6.
So we just put some people in some houses, and we put in each house we put a family, but then other family members came to start living at the house, right? So if you're living in about 8 to 10 people in the house, because in the kids room there's bunk beds. So like you have 2 kids on the top bunk, 2 kids on the bottom bunk, that's 4 kids. You have the mother and father in the other room, that's 6 people, and then you might have like their aunt or their grandma or whatever, and their granddad living in the living room now. So then you've got like 8 people in the house. So if we build 100 houses, that's going to cost $800,000 around. I'm trying to see if this is the right version. Is actually show people the video so they can see kind of the thing. There we go. So let me start it again.
I wish we could put it on the thing, like mirror it. That will happen.
I know.
Sorry.
This is the video anyway.
When the skies above Goa turned an ominous color.
happened, whether it's like a civil war, let's say, or in terms of a crisis of like refugees, there's more known about it, or at least there's more effort put into it by people. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know. Like, this is obviously an amazing effort, but with how long that's been and how many people are still.
It depends on where it is. If, like, I'll give you an example. There was a volcano in Paris, that cathedral, Notre Dame, the burning, and everybody's pledging money and everybody's giving money. But then if something's happening in Congo, it's like, ooh, okay, we'll speak about it for one day in the news, and then nobody's spoken about it since. So these people have been displaced for like a whole year, basically. It happened in May, so they've been displaced for like 7 months, 8 months.
Perfect example. And look, that cathedral burning down, you know, you saw it everywhere, and it was a terrible sight to see, but it was everywhere. Like, and again, but no, like, it's a it's like to rebuild that faster than
People's houses, right? And people aren't allowed to live in churches, generally speaking. So it's just, you know, a place to go and worship. And like,
right, but it's not. Yeah.
how me and Anwar got together is because I was always speaking about what was going on in Palestine, and he was always speaking about what was going on in Palestine. And it's like we've agreed that
Sounds like there was a period of time a lot where I just reading the news or like paying attention to so many things that were going on in the world made me feel like I could feel like know what was going on constantly. But for someone that also could, like, there was so many things there was always obviously bad news, but things that I knew that obviously news is curated in so many ways, but you don't actually the real news. That's why Twitter that how is that not news? More so, what is news? News is what's curated by what, like, it's but that's
news,
why
news is now curated by corporations. It's not what is actually important to all of us.
by the people. It's by
Well, all of us care if we are shown things. If we're not shown it, we can't care about it, right? And
some
so
They don't want to shed light on certain situations in certain places because it will show the world, you know, other travesties that are being taken. I mean, pushed forward by like the countries that pretend to be, you know, the savers of the world. You know?
again, it goes against people making money off
Yeah.
people suffering, right? And like, I don't know, there was something the other day. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the girls that climbed the shard? the tallest building in London to protest Shell drilling, right? That was something that was, to me, sorry, just like as a woman, like that's a superhero movie. Like women scaling the Shard to the top where they ran out of rope, so they had to free climb it, you know, to put up a banner which single-handedly stopped Shell from being able to drill in the Arctic. That was news for a second. Yeah, World War and like kings and queens, but not about the stuff that again Great Britain was very much responsible for. And
Well,
yeah,
you know, it's the holiday season now, so it's like people are feeling like they want to give, they want to make a difference, and what we want to do is we want to build 100 homes, we want to build an orphanage, we want to start a farming business for these people.
There is no way I'm going to give them meat before they understand what it is.
Right.
Like where it comes from. You know, it's a very...
It comes from this. People don't understand that this device comes from this. Like they don't understand. They just think
Yeah,
iPhone.
I think it just that pretty Apple store with the
Job, all this stuff.
very pretty made, but it's
Right.
yeah.
So I think what we need people who are watching this to do, and we'll life since World War II, and nobody knows about it. Between 1998 and 2003, 7 million people died because of mineral war conflict. And so, these children that we're taking care of, some of the children, their parents have been murdered so that people can get access to minerals, like literally. So I was in one of the houses speaking to one of the children. Right.
Usually you you know.
And I think that if people understood where their phones, their cars, their cameras, their TVs were coming from, they might
Yeah.
understand that there's a human casualty because of that. And as I'm saying, I'm not pointing the finger at anyone because we all are living it in a technological world. But just as long as we understand how that world exists and that there's other people in that world.
But can I also say what scares me the most as well is the price on a life. That's the thing. But you can put a price on a fucking phone.
Right. 100%. Anwar, just to ask you a question quickly, um, when did you first start realizing, where minerals for phones and cars and stuff was coming from?
I mean, I um I the first time I really ever heard about it was a friend of mine who's Congolese who explained to me when he went there for the first time that you know, he was gonna.
Like to say again, if anyone's also listening to this that wants to be educated and also informed in the most amazing way, this man's page alone, without even knowing him as a friend, is is truly an insight into things that we all need to be aware of generally. Like I've always felt like to be a human, to want to be a little bit better or to make a difference every day. This man is like, you speak the truth, but it's also thank you. You've educated so many people, especially if we're two of them.
Look, you see, this is little Lola, and Lola's parents were both killed for minerals, and you know, he's a little cutie. Lola means paradise in Swahili.
That's it.
Wow, it's beautiful.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lola means paradise in Swahili, and so it's like we just all of these children, all of these children. Let me show you all of these children. We've adopted them all now so that they don't have to, because they were going hungry. They didn't have any kind of safety system, support system. We've been getting them to doctors. We've been feeding them, and they're all
Come to life, you know.
100% when we have the children's home built, when we have this whole community built. So if all 1,500 people in here put the link in their bio, make their own video, and you don't even have to put it on your main page, just put it on your stories and just put give to Goma and start to talk about this, because
Tag us because again, we can reshare your videos, guys. Please.
please. And if you know of any people that you think that would be interested in this, then DM Right. Basically, anything that has a circuit in it is using this stuff, this tech. So right now, it's not going anywhere. But what we can do is we can start to learn more about it, study conflict minerals, study coltan, study cobalt, and also as we build out this village as a collective, because me and Cara were speaking about earlier, we're gonna bring in more and more and more and more people.
Periodic table, but I didn't know anything about it. So, guys, do research as well because it's fascinating.
Click the link in our bio. It will bring you to this page, right? We started this earlier on today, about 6 or 7 hours ago, and we've done about $10,000 an hour. We're aiming for 1 million because that can build 100 houses for people and help us to build our orphanage. And so, click the link on the in our bios. You'll be able to go here. You'll be able to share it. You'll be able to donate if you have anything to donate. On videos and sharing it. And if you speak a different language, make a video in your own language. That's important.
Okay, wait. Also, I have a proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, when my bank doesn't think I'm frauding them with my card, if whoever makes an $8,000 donation to do a house, and well, again, I don't know if you'll be into this as well, but like.
$8,000, you can build someone a home. And
I'll be way more entertaining when you build someone a home and not because you've just done it for some weird reason. You know what I mean?
so, like, look, this is the hashtag. It's give to
Look,
go.
me and Al can do it together if you get us both the same.
I would love to do that. You know, I would do that.
What I mean?
As
We'll
you
write
can
a song, we'll
see,
style.
all
Guys,
these beautiful people. Anwar, there's Kerry Hilson. There's a whole bunch of people who are sharing this. But as you can see right now, we don't have any of you people who are watching this with your own videos. So we need you people.
where are you guys? Where are
On
you?
the hashtag.
Then
Guys, I know it's Christmas, but honestly, you probably are all on your phones most of the time. So come on, get creative. Get creative. Do a little dance.
Where's,
Make it.
where's, where's the TikTokers? We need Twitter people and TikTokers.
anyone. That's
if they've donated, but how do we know if they have? Not that that matters, but it should. Guys, make a video and then we'll put you on.
Someone's just taking it, of course.
No, don't lie.
They've taken it.
We'll figure something out probably. You know, once we end this.
Hey, whoever you are, give it Goma. Well,
Get back.
give it back. Really? That can't be right.
Whoever did that is twisted. I'm telling you.
That's messed up, man. That's messed up. But what about 2 as in Tio?
We'll figure it out, because whichever one we decide is the official one, and they can have whichever one they have. It doesn't matter.
Someone said go.
Click the link in our bio and donate. Thank
Yeah.
you, Anwar.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh,
Share and donate, please. Thank you, guys.
much love, y'all.